Whoops. Morning folks, Lester here. Jamie just informed me that there's water shooting out of our faucet, our water trough. I'm gonna walk over there now because yeah, there's absolutely water. Now this is the pasture where Tex and the boys hang out, so there's no surprise. Let me turn my camera on and show you what Jamie's seeing. Yep, there's absolutely water. There's water. Now it's not, Lord help us. So what happens is, you already know that Tex, that big galoot, is a very mischievous, is the best word, a very mischievous bull, and he likes to find things to push around on. And so I'll leave the gate open. There's no one up front. All the cows have gone down by the road, all the bulls on one side and our cows on the other. So what happens is they start messing around over here, playing around with his horns, doing stuff, and it looks like he just, I don't think anything's broke. I think they just somehow turned it on. I don't know. Hey, your guess is as good as mine. Seriously, you see they've been over here having fun, and at some point, they must have turned, that's all it was right there. At some point, they were down here to get on a drink, and they just pushed that over a little bit to where it started just squirting out there. Beautiful, clean water, y'all. I don't mean to harp on it, but you guys know how much I'm a stickler for good, fresh, and clean water. And so there's a couple of leaves. You can't prevent that. Sometimes we'll get a little bit of dust in there when you have a dry, dusty, wind blowing around. But you got to keep that water clean, friends. You don't make your cows drink anything that you wouldn't drink yourself. Now, yes, it's true. Look how green this grass is. This is my winter grass, y'all. This is my winter grass growing on top of rocks. This is my winter grass growing on top of rocks. But look how beautiful that is. My goodness gracious, Lord. Lordy, look, even the cows are out grazing on the winter grass. But, friends, before you say it, this is a winter temporary grass. It's not enough to sustain as many cows as we have here. So, no. I can keep a few. Baby, why are you down there? What's she doing? I can keep a few cows here, but you can't keep as many as we got. So I'm walking down now just to have a little peek at Tex. Jamie and I are going to head over to the JL. If I don't say it slow, it sounds like I'm saying jail. And I'm not saying jail. JL. We're going to head over to the JL here in a bit. But let's walk down and say hi to the boys. And then before I leave, I'll bring some green hay and throw out for them, even though I told Jamie, even though with all this green, I don't think they really need any green hay. Yeah, I know you want to know her name. You keep asking. You keep asking for her name. I'm calling her Fostoria. Foster. But Foster sounds like a boy. She's a girl, so I'm calling her Fostoria. And she's not mine. As you already know, you watch the videos, she was the dog that I trapped twice over at I'm a Survivor in my live trap. And then I even had to walk out and carry her out of my pastures twice while she's out there messing with my goats. Not chasing them, not being mean to them, just visiting. And so at some point, Jamie and I said, you know what? Well, it wasn't much Jamie, it was me saying, you know what? I ain't leaving her like this. I am not leaving her like this. It's a beautiful day. So we brought her over here, and we've got all the fleas and ticks off of her and cleaned her up and fed her good. And I did tell the kids at the church, I told the kids and the adults at the church, says, hey, you tell her owner if they want her, they can come get her. But when you catch a dog on your property with your animals over and over and over and over. Hey, you big stud, I didn't bring any feed. You're not hungry anyway. You just come over here to say hi. When you catch them on your property over and over and over, at some point, enough is enough. But I'll tell you what, it's been over a week. And her owners, nowhere to be found. They ain't come looking for her. They have not come looking for her. So instead, she's hanging out with me. But no, I'm not claiming her as mine. I did deworm her. We did give her a flea treatment. But I've not even gone to the vet with her. Hey, Charlene. Good morning, sweetie. Look at that beautiful grass. Longhorn Lester's is going to be a beautiful 20-acre small ranch property here in South Livingston. Yet all of my longhorns, for the most part, are going to all be going to the JL Ranch. 50 acres of beautiful pasture in North Livingston. How weird is that? Seriously, how weird is that? But hey, you have to do what you have to do, my friends. This pasture over here has to be treated. You already know that. It has to be treated. We have to do what the Ag Extension told us to do. At least one coating of lime. And then we'll have to disc that in. Let it set 6 weeks. We'll test it again. Maybe a second lime treatment. Hey, sweet little thing. Looky there. And then we'll test it a second time, which will really be a third time. And we believe that by then we can seed it. And what I will do is put good St. Augustine, a high St. Augustine mixed with the Bahia grass. And then, oh Lord, and then it has to go an entire growing season without being grazed. So we have at least a year to a year and a half, my friends, before we can actually graze this pasture. Why is Charlene yakking? So we made a good investment with this property up north. It's 22 miles from here, exactly. 22 miles from here. So it's not too far. And how we're going to run it and manage it, I'm not exactly sure. That's just going to be kind of we'll have to figure all that out. But listen, I drove an hour one way to work for 25 years. I do not mind driving 22 miles, 30 minutes, let's say 30 minutes to work for the next 20 years if I have to. I don't. It will be a pleasure. Charlene, you need to just hush it up because you're screaming for no reason. And this is, y'all, this is my passion. This is my work. And I love this. And I can't wait to see them out there grazing that new pasture. And then, if it works out, don't forget everybody, that we still have enough property there that we'll only have to graze half of it. We can rotate our pastures the way they're supposed to be rotated. Isn't that beautiful? And look at that little thing. That's that little Trinity, and she's sitting there eating on some hay. And then, oh boy. Oh no, Waylon, don't. Waylon, I can't touch you. Waylon, don't do it. Don't chase me, Waylon. And then we can bale when we need our hay crop. We'll be able to go ahead and fertilize and hopefully bale the other half for our winter hay crop. And then once we get all of our fences intact and everything looks good around the entire property, I can rotate pastures, have the cows graze the other 25 acres, and then we'll raise our crop of hay. It's just a beautiful process, y'all, a beautiful process. Do I wish we could do all of that here? Absolutely. Do I wish I could have all of that right here at Longhorn Lester's? You better believe it. But guys, what we bought here were an available 20 acres. And so Longhorn Lester's, where there may only be a longhorn or two, but there will be a bunch of crazy birds. And then I'm going to say one last thing about the birds before I leave you. This is very important. Very important message coming up, y'all. Very important message coming up. I'm watching from here as our birds run circles around the pasture that they're in right now. You can see the males. And guys, what they're doing is not flirting for the females. What they're doing is chasing Charlie. I'm going to call it that, chasing Charlie. They're being mean to Charlie. But Charlie has been mean to Jamie. Chasing Charlie, yet Charlie's been mean to Jamie. I don't know why, but, well, I mean, I guess I do know why. Charlie is finally matured, yet he's the smallest of the males. He's the most immature male, and both Carl and Tat have found Charlie as a, we'll just say a weaker ostrich. And so they're picking on him. They are. If I put Charlie with the females, it's the time of year where he's being aggressive. He chest bumped Jamie the first time, which forced me to move him. And then when she went to change the water a couple of days ago, he came at her again and knocked her down. Now, she will admit that it was not so much that he hit her hard, but he put enough force on her. Then she was in boots and it was slippery where she'd been working in the water, and it knocked her down. Y'all, he could have cut her, he could have scraped her, he could have gorged her, gouged her. Gorged her? Where'd that word come from? He could have gorged her? Makes no sense. Now listen, I had promised Charlie to keeping it Dutch. Dutch is not ready yet for any ostriches. He wants them. He wants Charlie and Susan. He'd love to have them, but he's not ready yet. And so there's been a lady who I've been talking to I've known her for probably 3 or 4 months. She's been talking to me about my ostrich eggs. And she's been offering to come down and get them all the way from North Texas. And so I said, you know what, Amanda? I said, I have a better idea. I said, why don't you just drive down and let me give you a couple of my big birds? And so she is just tickled pink. She's just tickled. And she's going to rent her a trailer. And she's going to drive down, and we're going to just give her Charlie and Susan. I hope that you don't hate me for that. But friends, here's my thought processes. This is my thought process. I remember when we first went and got Carl, and how he'd been picked on and bullied, and he looked like a turkey, a Thanksgiving turkey about to be cooked up. And we do not want that same life for Charlie. We don't. Nobody wants to have to live their life being bullied and picked on. At the same time, I have to look out for the well-being of me and Jamie and our dogs and our other pets. And if Charlie's being aggressive, then you know, at some point you have to be able to work your pastures, y'all. You have to be able to work in your pastures. And so we're going to be forced to do what we're going to do. And I'm not upset. Listen to me, I'm not upset. I have always known that I would probably at some point send a couple of our birds away. I've offered them to Mr. Leo. That never worked out. I've offered them to Arms family. That never worked out. I've offered them to Dutch. That hasn't worked out, or not yet. And so what I'm going to do is give them to a bird sanctuary. A bird sanctuary. Charlie and Susan will be going off to a bird sanctuary. And I think that's going to be a really nice thing for her. She's excited about it. It's going to be a lot safer for Jamie and I. And it's going to make it to where Charlie can become a man of his own and not be picked on every time that the birds start, you know, that time of year. All right, my friends. I want to thank y'all for watching this morning, for taking a walk with me across these beautiful green pastures. Wouldn't it be great if they stayed this green year round? Yeah, maybe someday, y'all, maybe someday. But for now, it's just such a beautiful place. I want to get the drone up at some point and fly it around. Thank y'all for loving me and for accepting me, us. And wish Charlie good luck. You know, let's all wish Charlie and Susan lots of success at their new home. And with that being said, my friends, we will catch you guys on tomorrow's video.
Don't let your troubles fester. Come watch Longhorn Lester.
Yeah, something like that.